Today is going to be the first video in a little holiday gift guide series that I have got planned, and I'm really excited. I'm excited about this video in particular because I've got a lot of tips that I think will help anyone who clicks on this video to watch. First of all though, before we get into it, a few things. Christmas, first and foremost, for me and my family, is just about celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. That is kind of the biggest thing, and just getting to be with family and getting to eat big and enjoy time together. So I think that's the most important, and I definitely think gifts would come second to that. However, most people are going to buy and receive gifts at the holidays. So why not make it easier on yourself? Why not put a lot of thought into it and make sure that you're going to get someone a gift that they really like? This series is going to be all about practical gifts. If you've been on the channel before, you know that I'm a pretty practical person. I did a video recently about making vanilla for Christmas. I'll leave a link in the description if you haven't seen that. And in that video, I said I would rather buy someone toilet paper, paper towels, dish soap, than risk getting them something that they won't like. I really would honestly, truthfully do that. So I want this to be just focused on everything practical. I hope that by sharing these tips it will relieve some of the stress of the holidays, because it's so exciting to think about putting up the tree and being with family and eating good food, and then you think about the gifts, and it is exciting, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. You don't know what to get a person, you don't want to break your budget, and it can just get super stressful really fast, and that can be the most stressful part of the holidays. And at the holidays, when the year is kind of coming to a close, that's the time to just rest and enjoy family, and there's no need for it to be stressful. Giving gifts is a way to shower people with love, your loved ones and your friends and your family, but you don't have to get them super crazy wild gifts or super expensive gifts to show them that you love them. But it is fun to give gifts, and for some people that is kind of their love language, and I'm one of those people for sure. And I will say I have been deemed as the best gift giver in my family. I'm just saying, so I think these tips are really going to help you. Now let's get into the 5 tips that will make this the easiest Christmas shopping you've ever done. The very first tip is make a list. You need to have a head count of every single person that you're going to be buying for. Once you see all of that on paper, whether you want to make it in a physical list, pen and paper, or online in like a Google Sheet or an Excel, you need to have a head count of everyone that you're buying for. Then after you have the names down, a few extra things, categories that will help you is have ideas for them, have a little section where you can check off, have you purchased that item yet? Is it being shipped to you? And budget. Budget really could probably be a whole separate tip on its own. Leave a little place in there for budget so you can put maybe how much the gift cost, and that will help you keep track of it as you go. So you know how many gifts you've already got that person, you know how much money you've spent, and you're not just going around with this vague idea in your head of, well, I don't know, do I really have enough for Aunt Susie, and do I need to buy her more, and I feel like I'm spending all this money. If you see it on paper, it's really going to help you. One more great thing to add to this list is Christmas bags or wrapping paper. So you can actually decide right then, am I going to wrap this or am I going to put it in a bag? Then when you go to buy the bags or buy the wrapping paper, you know what size and how much you need, and that makes it so much easier, and then you won't have to spend 5 different trips going to the store trying to get enough bags. Number 2 is also a list, but this is a Christmas list. Now, not everyone is going to do this. Not everyone will want to do this because it will take some of the surprise out. But my family, in the last couple of years, we've started doing a Christmas list. So we'll just send each other, hey, here's some things that I would like to, receive as a gift. And we'll still get each other stuff that's not on the list, so there is some surprise, but that really helps. And even if you say, no, we're not really going to do that, or I don't want to do that, it's okay to ask people for ideas. If you're just not sure, you can text them, you can call them, you can say, hey, Aunt Susie, I don't know what to get you for Christmas. Can you just give me some ideas? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that is just fine. Number 3 is identify the likes and the dislikes of the person that you're buying for. Just really think about them and try to kind of identify some of the main things that they're interested in. So for example, my mom loves to garden. So there is a whole plethora of gifts that I could get her, whether that was a gardening gift card or books about gardening or seeds or some kind of tool. Just think about areas of interest that people have, whatever that is, whether that's reading or they like to watch movies. Really kind of get into that person's shoes and think about what they would like. And I think that's probably one of the easiest tips, is just what kind of hobbies does this person like? And you just buy them something that is involved in their hobby, and you can almost guarantee that they're going to like that. Tip number 4 is Christmas shop all year long. Now, some people are going to say, I don't want to do that, or I don't have the space to store all those gifts in my house. And I totally get that. If you wait till 2 weeks before Christmas, it's going to stress you really badly, and then you don't really have time to get those meaningful gifts, and it's just hard on you all the way around. Another thing you can do, and I do this is probably my best tip ever, is all throughout the year when you hear your family or your loved one or your friends say, man, that's really cool, I'd like to have one of those, write it down. That is my #1 secret for being deemed the best gift giver in my family. I listen. When people say, that's really cool, I want one of those, or that looks great, I write it down, and then when it comes Christmas time, boom, without them even sending me a Christmas list, I have tons of things that I could buy them. And most people, you know, we say that a lot, oh, that'd be cool to have, and 9 times out of 10 we don't buy it. But when Christmas rolls around and that person opens that gift, they're going to be really surprised. Tip number 5 is practical categories. So think about the practical categories of life: food, clothes, vehicle maintenance, home goods, anything else. I'm sure you can come up with a bunch, but those are just a few. These are practical things that people are going to use no matter what. So food is one of the easiest ones, one of the best ones. I always give people snacks, any kind of candy they like, any kind of coffee. You could make them like a little hot cocoa mix. I mean, it's endless what you could do. You could get them a food basket. You can buy one that's already made. But consumables, we're all going to eat food. We all love snacks. You can guarantee that someone is going to use that and like that. Or you might even get them a gift card to their favorite restaurant. That would be a really good gift too. Now, I mentioned clothes. Clothes can be one of the trickiest things to buy as Christmas gifts because you don't know people's sizes and you don't always know their preference. So the size is pretty easy. You can just ask them. That's no big deal. Or especially if it's your close family, like your parents or your brother, your sister, or your husband, you're going to know what size they are. Now you might say, but I have no idea what kind of, style they would like. Well, again, that goes back to kind of pay attention and look at what they're wearing over a few weeks. And you can never go wrong with neutrals, with any kind of neutral t-shirt or long sleeve, sweatpants, socks, and underwear. You can never go wrong with that. Vehicle maintenance. Now, I thought this was a pretty good one. I didn't think of this at first, but as I was kind of researching and sitting and thinking about what I wanted to include in this video, everyone is going to have to clean their car at some point. If you're like me, you wait super long to the very last minute. But you could get someone a gift card to a car wash. You could get them, if they clean their car at their own house, you could get them like a little set of stuff to wash their car with. That would be totally useful. The last practical category is home goods. This could include a wide array of items. This could be soap, toilet paper, paper towels, anything like that in the house that is used all the time. Candles. Now, candles could be tricky, but you really can't go wrong with like a basic vanilla kind of scent. Anything that is used in the home. I hope all these practical categories will just encourage you to think about the practical gifts and what can you gift someone that they're going to be able to use and that they will love. Because there's nothing worse than 2 weeks later after Christmas, you take a handful of gifts to the thrift shop that people got you and they meant really well, but you just don't want to use them and you don't want to waste their money, you don't want to waste your own money. And if we're going to be swapping gifts, let's just be smart about it. Some people do something you want, something you need, something you can wear, something you can read. I had never heard of that until this year, but that's pretty good. Those are all practical things, so I liked that as well. Now, some people think practical gifts are boring, think that they're not very fun or very surprising, but I think that it just works the best for me. It saves money, it saves you time, and then you don't have to have that anxiety when you're all sitting around opening gifts like, I don't know, is this person really gonna like this gift? You can gift with confidence knowing that you're gonna gift someone something that they are gonna treasure and use. So that is the end of my 5 tips. Remember, the holidays do not have to be stressful. You can celebrate the birth of Jesus, you can sit around with your family and eat big and have a good time, and you can become the best gift giver in your circle using these tips I've shared with you. So leave a comment below, let me know what you think. Be on the lookout for more videos. God bless you, God keep you, and I'll see you on the next video.